Hi, Annie here, and today I've got a new video for you. Surprise, but not, because I do, Monday to Friday in November. So anyway, I'm gonna get talking, and if you're interested in seeing my giveaway or any of that stuff, information about that, that's in the first video from the month, so that'll be linked below. If you're having trouble finding it or anything, it's linked in the description box, and but please watch and subscribe and all that jazz. But I'm today talking about some kind of noir inspired television shows, or noir adjacent, that kind of vicinity anyway. And that's part of, I'm doing a lot of noir themed videos this November. So the first one I'm going to talk about here is Remington Steele. This is one that is definitely adjacent. There's a lot of screwball elements within this show, but I feel stylistically it's very noir in the kind of set design and the lighting. There's a few episodes especially that certainly feel that way. Of course, I can't think of the titles off my head, but there's a handful of episodes that I feel like are straight up more noir style. One especially where Remington breaks his leg, I feel like is much more of like a noir type film, but in a television episode. This is one that it's got to be one of my top favorite series anyway, but it definitely does have many of those elements. There's, even within just the general context of the show, not the episodes, Remington is, a secret identity essentially for whoever this man is. That's not his real person, and I would say that in many ways probably the noir is a bit flipped gender-wise in this one, and Stephanie playing kind of the good person that maybe is getting a bit dragged down by everything. This is definitely noir inspired. Michael Gleason, who was the creator of the show, was a huge fan of classic movies, and it really shows, one, because they integrate them into as many episodes as they can, and as many movies into each episode as they can. But I think that his love for screwball and noir films really shows in the overall series. And because it is a continuing series, I feel like noir in its proper form would be quite a hard thing to achieve. But that's my first recommendation for a noir-inspired show. The second one I'm going to talk about is actually Veronica Mars, which is another mystery show. It's more recent. It starred Kristen Bell as the lead character. She is somebody that's investigating a family member's murder and gets drawn into all this other stuff and other mysteries and all that. But there are elements of it that are woven in, and that I would say that's one of the best ways to explain some points on that show. I do think though that a straight up noir TV show would be quite difficult to achieve, but that one is probably the closest one recently that I could think of anyway. I feel like in the last decade or 2 decades, there's been fewer kind of to choose from. There's lots of procedurals and there's lots of mysteries and dramas, but then noir elements are missing from a lot of them. So that was my kind of more recent pick to add in. And the one here that another one that I wanted to mention is the Untouchables. I will say that this feels far more kind of adjacent than a lot of the other ones I'm mentioning, in the sense that it is more of a gritty crime drama. But the style of shooting and the way that they film it does feel quite noir. Mind you, gritty crime drama and noir have a lot of crossover in general, but that's just one that I feel like it's gritty crime drama, but if you're looking for something because you love noir, I also feel like this is one that you probably will enjoy, as long as you're not somebody that's noir but totally anti-violence, because there's definitely a fair bit of kind of shootings and stuff like that, and you see a lot more of it than you often do in a noir, at least from what the ones that I've watched. And the next one I want to mention here is Perry Mason. This is another one that there's certain key elements of the noir aspect that are missing, in the sense that Perry himself isn't really the person that I would say is the lead in the noir. It's often the cases he's working on kind of are playing out like a noir, rather than him being involved himself. Because although he is involved, I'm saying as far as in the overall noir archetype, he's not the kind of detective or insurance salesman or that kind of thing. He's more removed from that. He's not the narrator, because again, usually they're self-narrating, but he's just more like an outside person in it, in the noir set, because I feel like a lot of the murders and the cases within Perry Mason do definitely fit in that kind of noir canon, not only in how they're shot and sometimes how they're written and narrated, but also the kind of just the characters involved have that kind of lose-lose situation going on that's common in noir. And there's often like the kind of tempting female that's, you know, lured a good guy away, but also reversed, where there's like a guy that seems good that kind of lures a female into going bad. So there's, I think, a lot of those elements just kind of in a slightly different way than maybe you'd see it if it was in a movie. And stylistically, as far as how it's shot and the lighting, it has a lot of noir kind of features and things you'd recognize there. So the next one I wanted to mention is Dragnet. I don't have a physical copy of that. I have some episodes in a public domain set, but there's nothing really like on the cover that would indicate that it is Dragnet. So I just thought I'd talk about that. And I'd say in many ways that might be kind of the closest one that I can think of that kind of fits that noir set. Now, again, there might be others, and if you know other ones than what I'm mentioning in this video, please let me know. But I do think that it has that element of noir to it, especially in the voiceovers. That is like such a stylistic thing, and even the way they talk, it very much is noir style, and then you add the way they shoot it and the lighting and all those things together, plus the storylines, and again, they do have very much that feel of a noir film, only in a TV form. And if any of you remember MathNet, which was I think it was, the show was called Square One on PBS. Let me know. I used to be obsessed with that show, but I always think about it when I think about Dragnet, because that's what it was based on. But again, I think that even the MathNet show had those some of those same elements to it. But getting horribly off track there, I think any of these choices are good, and the final one I will mention, which I've only ever seen like 2 episodes of, but I think falls into this category, and I did do a little bit of reading to try to see if that was the case, and that's The Naked City. And that is another like early kind of crime television drama show, but it does, from what I have seen in the episodes I have, it is like, looks very much like a noir, but also from reading about it, it looks like a lot of the plots and stuff are kind of inspired by that type of plot line. So there are some noir inspired television for you if you're looking for something noir inspired to watch. All of them are ones I enjoy and would recommend. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to let me know if you can think of other noir inspired television, or what your favorite of the ones that I mentioned is. This is part of my November series, so there's lots of other videos going up this November, Monday to Friday. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to leave your comment, and I'll see you soon. Bye!